Right now, your AI workspace is likely a mess of scattered questions and chaotic outputs that you have to sift through manually. We are going to replace that approach with a streamlined system. Most people treat AI like a search engine. You type in a vague query and hope for a useful answer. But generative models do not retrieve existing information. They construct data based on the specific instructions you provide. To get reliable results, you need to use a 5-part recipe: role, context, task, constraints, and format. Moving away from loose queries and adopting this structured formula changes how you interact with the model, allowing you to design precise, professional workflows. First, you must establish a role by explicitly defining the AI's expertise. Telling it to act as a senior copywriter or a data analyst, you set the baseline for the quality and perspective of the response. Next, you provide the context. Giving the AI background on your specific project and your target audience stops the model from filling in blanks with generic assumptions. This split screen shows the difference context makes. On the left, a generic prompt produces a dense academic block. On the right, by defining a beginner audience and a specific role, the AI generates a clear, conversational explanation of the exact same topic. You can then calibrate the tone of this output by adjusting the parameters of the persona. Asking the model to be skeptical, energetic, or concise will instantly shift the results. Setting a defined role and context alters the AI's predictive baseline. This forces it to generate targeted insights that align with your specific goals, rather than a generalized web summary. With the foundation set, you move to the task. This begins with action verbs, the operational commands that dictate exactly how the AI processes your request. Strong directives like extract, classify, or synthesize are more effective than open-ended requests. They tell the model exactly what operation to perform. You pair that verb with your input. This is the raw data, like transcripts, reports, or unstructured notes, that you want the AI to handle. Notice in this interface how the command summarize is bracketed directly to the raw meeting data. This link is what drives the processing. Commanding specific actions over defined data anchors the AI to your provided material. This forces the model to prioritize your text over its internal training data, significantly narrowing the margin for error. To maintain control over the output, you apply guardrails. These are the strict boundaries that keep the generation on track. Use negative constraints to tell the AI what to avoid. You might instruct it not to use technical jargon or to ignore specific topics that aren't relevant to your report. You also need absolute length constraints. Telling the AI to keep a response under 5 bullet points or within 200 words prevents it from wandering off topic. Finally, specify the format. You can demand a markdown table, a CSV structure, or a bulleted list so the information is ready for immediate use. As you can see in this diagram, a dense block of unstructured text can be organized into a clean 3-column table in a matter of seconds. Applying these constraints eliminates the need for extensive manual reformatting. It bridges the gap between a raw AI response and a structure you can actually use. Asking an AI to generate a complex final product in a single massive prompt often leads to generic or incomplete results. The model simply has too many variables to track at once. The solution is chaining. This means dividing a large objective into isolated steps: ideation, structure, and drafting. The output from step 1 becomes the foundational input for step 2, allowing you to audit the logic at each milestone. Workflow chaining prevents the model from losing focus on the original instructions. It ensures that the human director remains involved in every intermediate stage of development. Once the initial draft is generated, you must review it for any misalignments with your goal. Use targeted micro-prompts to adjust specific elements. You can tell the AI to shorten the introduction or to make the 3rd paragraph more professional without having to rewrite the entire prompt. Comparing a raw first draft to an iterated version shows a clear difference in precision. This process aligns the final output more closely with your actual requirements and voice. Prompt engineering is an iterative dialogue designed to refine logic. It's about continuous adjustment until the response meets your professional standard. This is the complete system: role, context, task, constraints, and format, all interlocking into a single cohesive equation. When you follow this sequence, you generate professional-grade outputs that are structured and ready for immediate deployment in your work. You should save this 5-part structure as a custom instruction or a template within your AI platform. Mastering this recipe provides the technical foundation needed to run complex, multi-stage workflows through any generative model, turning the AI into a reliable production tool.